Alright. It's the weekly Kung Fu Cup SummerSlam Finals. And we've got Clem in the top left side of the map. Rogue in the bottom right side. And that's going to be a big match for Rogue. Another test of his Zerg vs Terran. A matchup where he's had some pretty nice all-ins. He's got some decent mid-game. But he's shown weakness against protracted 8-racks pushes. He's shown weakness in the late game as well, where he kind of gets stuck in that mid-game. Doesn't get off lair tech, and players sometimes do just outpace him if they get to that mass command center stage. Clem, of course, on the other hand, has been perfectly in practice, but some could say over-practicing, right? Clem spams so many games. I am sure there is an argument out there that he overtrains and that there is not enough time spent thinking about the game. How can there be when you play as much as Clem does? Clem, to me, seems like the perfect player for any coach out there to have. The player that is just going to play 40,000 games of whatever you tell him to play him. But when it comes to StarCraft and real-time strategy games in general, it's often about self-directed learning, picking your strategies, and having your own sort of fight IQ, your own ability to problem solve both in the games as well as picking your strategies, solving your problems, and keeping yourself a little bit hard to predict for your opponents. And that's something where Clem maybe does fall short on occasion. That being said, opening up with 2-racks Reaper, a great way to open on site Delta as the third bases. Both options, very far spread, which means the Zerg player usually can't get that third base up unless they have an incredibly fast link speed. Now, to be fair, Rogue's not pulling off gas. You see a lot of the Koreans doing this these days. They want that fast link speed option available. So, there we go. He'll pull off gas, and look at that. Beautiful. Where's the link speed? There we go. Does start that one up just after pulling those drones away. Second gas goes down behind this. So, Clem wanting to get that second gas up as fast as possible, as he is still building up to 4 Reapers. Sorry, guys. Oh, he's going to get one? No, not quite. All right. Oh, there we go. Gets a Zergling. Very good focus fire and knowing exactly when to turn around does Clem. He doesn't mind taking too much damage on the Reaper because he's got another healthy one. The trick is you got to run up that ramp right now if you want to make sure there's no early creep tumor. But look at that. Rogue goes for the safe tumor. Connecting the bases, also getting creep over to that jump-in point on the left side. Factory goes down into third command center behind this. And 3 Reapers only, actually. Sorry, he didn't build a 4th Reaper. I thought he built a 4th one. And runs forward, tries to and preemptively throw the grenade to force the queens back, but they were already back, and oh my gosh. Clem and pulling back 4 hit point Reapers, name a more iconic duo. Does he see that third hatchery? Yes, he does, but he's not going to go for it. He's letting the hatchery go up. It almost feels like he didn't see that, guys. Like he saw it, but he didn't actually notice it was there. But now, obviously, he definitely does. Gonna try and jump in the main, too risky. Link speed's already almost done. Oh, this is way too risky. Ling's gonna trap him. Ling's gonna trap him. Rogue here, man. This is the thing. The Korean Zergs don't mess around, dude. They make that Ling speed with no delay. And those Lings are gonna wrap around. Queen on the high ground gets a few hits off as well. At the end of the day, 3 Reapers for 2 Zerglings. That is a terrible trade. Now, obviously, you slow the droning down, but is it enough to make up for the fact that this command center is just finished and started mining for Clem? Because now Rogue has full map control. He's going to drone. Look at his creep. 4 creep tumors spreading. He's even got one going around the edge of his main base to make sure it's easy to defend drops. Luckily, the tech lab is nicely positioned here. It's kind of recessed a bit. Hard for Zerglings to focus that down. And it's going to be a 2-1-1 follow-up. As Rogue transitions offlings into roaches. I'm going to take a wild guess here, guys. I'm going to take a wild guess. Let me know if I'm crazy. Rogue's going to go double upgrade, 66 drones. Then he's gonna build a Nidus Worm, right? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? This has been 80% of Rogue Zerg vs Terran for like 7 years. Before the military, after the military, he's like, I'm gonna roach all in, and it will work every single time. Like, I would make a lot more fun of it. I'd be more disparaging if it didn't work so much. I'd be like, wow, it's kind of dumb to just do the same thing over and over again when it doesn't work. When it does work, we just kind of have to smile and go, well, all right, keep doing that. That seems to be the way to win this matchup. We'll see. I mean, Clem should have his eyes open to it. It's so blatantly obvious. He did it to everyone in Katowice. In Dallas, our most recent big LAN tournament. A lot of players have been copying it since then. Dark has been using it. It's just a classic 1-1 Roach all in, but with a Nidus in the main base to reinforce. And that's definitely something we could see this game. I do think Rogue had a great start, so he should be ahead. Building a few Roaches here, maybe a little late. And building those Roaches, the thing is, you're going to have to probably use them to defend. If he can hide the Roaches from getting spotted, that's going to be really big. Because if Clem doesn't see those Roaches, he won't know to prepare for this next step. Marine's going to take out the Overlord down to the south. Couple of these creep tumors going down. Marines taking out a few Zerglings before picking up. And of course, he's seen the Roaches now. He was already into tank production, but second tank only now starting. First tank is on the high ground. Now on this map, problem. That tank doesn't cover anything from the high ground. You really need to actually get all your tanks out in the open in this scenario in order to defend. Oh, sorry guys. He actually redropped the Queen's intercepted. Oh, the Queen's intercepted and got both medevacs. Sorry guys, really bad observing by me. I didn't realize that creep was so far south. How many Queens did he kill? 3 Queens, 18 Zerglings? Oh, that's nothing. Dude, that's nothing. Rogue just slapped that down. That is huge. And he's going straight infestation pit. I mean, he's got to start 1-1. Surely that's more important. But is he? I think he's going to go melee now, guys. After getting that, it seems like Rogue is not going to go all in. I think that's going to be a melee upgrade. We're waiting for it. Come on, Rogue. Show us your intentions. Yeah, Baneling Nest goes down. Starts range, cancels it, starts melee. All right, my man's just going to play straight to Hive and 5 base with a massive, massive lead. He was ahead already. He gets 2 medevacs. Clem has to be worried about the all-in because that's what Rogue normally does here. And Rogue's like, lol, no way, man. Free pass to late game. You're building bunkers. You're turtling. Meanwhile, I am getting so far ahead. Armory starts up in the back of the Terran base there. You guys know I'm not the biggest fan of the Baneling transition this early. I do think Infestors is a way better way to spend your gas in this middle period, especially if you're ahead. You can argue Infestors if the Terran's highly aggressive, not as big. But I definitely think a couple of Infestors into your Hive tech. That can be incredibly good. Vipers, of course, are good. I'm not saying you should skip the Vipers. Vipers are very, very good units. Parasitic Bombs, Blinding Clouds, all amazing. Second factories here, still no 4th command center started. It's almost 8 minutes. Dude, guys, Rogue is just threatening. He's pretending to all in right now. And Clem is intelligently prepared for it. Because like I said, what's Rogue going to do every single time? 1-1 Roach all in with a Nidus. Well, guess what? Turns out if you do it every single time, people get scared of it. And the fact that Clem's already given him a massive lead in this game means Clem has to play so paranoid about it. Now he's going to 8 racks. Starting his +2 weapons. I mean, at least he's got an upgrade advantage, does Clem, but dude, 86 drones. 86 workers, that's a fully mining 4th. 5th base is going to have workers transferred to it as this main runs out. You can see the first mineral patch has disappeared. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th mineral patches will all disappear in the next few seconds. 8 of these workers, or 7 of them at least, should transfer. Files, not really landing on anything. 2 Vipers coming in, +2 Carapace starting at a pretty crisp timing. Ultra Caverns on the way as well. And look at that. Perfect. Transfers workers on at 8:30, just like clockwork. This is something not a lot of players do, guys. A lot of players wait until they see the red indicator above the Hive or the hatchery or the command center. It's always 8.5 minutes every game, guys. Happens the same for every race. You can see these patches are mining out now as well for Clem. Only this middle one is going to last a little bit longer. Ooh, Spore Crawler on the bottom. Clem's going for a bit of a YOLO. Oh, I like that. Bile. Predictive Bile. Blocks from Clem from flying past, and it's the right call to pull back as Clem because you've got Vipers, remember. Parasitic Bombs, dude. You go in deep, you're going to get killed. We are past the lack of anti-air stage of the game. Now, 2 more command centers are building. Ghost Academy. It's double siege tank production, which is incredibly weak to Broodlords. That's something we have to keep in mind here. Clem is in survival mode on a map that also is just not that good for Terran turtling. I think you want to try and put a tank up here, and you want to start walling off this area, and then start building like a semi-wall here as well. Like if you can get an engineering bay or a few barracks here, any big chunky structures is really going to help. Parasitic Bombs will chase these medevacs away. None of them will actually die. That one's surviving on 2 hit points. That one on 3. Boost home and repair those up. Has to be the play. There's not many Marines on this side. Overall, supply-wise, a similar army supply, but lots of Banelings coming in. The Lingbane can blow up some of these bases. That would be huge. I don't think there's enough Lingbane on the top, not with tank siege nearby, but on the south side, Command Center's in the open. He'd love that pick-off. Let's see what Rogue can find. Roach Ravager Ling Bane comes forward, rolling in towards the Marines. The Roach Ravager doing what they can on the top side. Ling Bane is going to take out the Planetary by the looks of it. Yeah, there's enough Banelings there. Oh, he doesn't repair. Clem, too busy microing on the front, does not repair. Ends up losing himself a Planetary and a Command Center. The Command Center was building on this low ground and the Planetary up top. Does he kill a lot of units? Yes, but he loses 15 workers. Remember, he was already behind in this game. He was already behind. He's going to float a new Command Center down from the main, try and build that one up. Clem needs to keep those numbers high, but there's creep on his doorstep, and that's a little insulting. He should definitely send a medevac forward to clean that up. Viper's coming forward, 4 Ultras, Mass Ling Bane. I love that the Spire is now finished. I think the Spire is one of the most important things. A few Corruptors to kill medevacs and libs will be massive, but also Broodlords. You're up against a guy who's building double tank. He cannot handle a Broodlord swap right now. Rogue's going for it, not giving Clem time to remax. Those Banelings getting taken out, mostly. The Bio pulling back behind the gas guys. A very good defensive positioning. The Blinding Clouds are brilliant there for Rogue, but they came in a little late. So brilliantly placed, but maybe a little slow on that one. Good fight for Clem. He's ahead 2,500 resources in the units lost tab. But is that going to matter? Is that going to matter? I'd love to see Rogue mix it up now. He should rotate around and hit that natural. I think it's going to be very hard for Clem to defend the natural and the fourth at the same time, and I think using that mobility is the trick. Yeah. See, Rogue, this is just classic Zerg, guys. You got some momentum, you got a good mid-game. Mass Ling Bane, smash into the bottom side, then remax, smash into the top side, and do that over and over. 3-3's on the way, but right now, 2-2 against 2-2, even upgrades. Clem, he sees the dots on the minimap. He's moving his forces down. He's trying to build command centers here, but those are very expensive wall-offs, 400 minerals each. He cancels them. He doesn't want to waste the 800 minerals, and that is the right call. Parasitic bombs going down, medevacs and Vikings taking damage. The Bio trying to defend the Banelings. SCVs did get pulled back. Great micro by Clem. Very good micro. Remember, he's just playing from so far behind. Ultras come in from the top right as well. They clear a few siege tanks. The ghosts in the tanks do manage to take out a lot of the Ultralisks. But on that left side, Clem holds on as well. Is it enough? And that's the question we just keep asking. The answer is no, it's definitely not enough, guys. Look at the supply. Rogue has 88 workers. As long as Rogue keeps taking bases and transferring, he's just going to be remaxing and going again. And every time, you're slightly weaker, your position. Oh, tank goes down. Yeah, this is a good remax. He realizes, you know what? It's just tanks on the north. Go in with a wave of Zerglings. Don't have to wait for Banelings or Ultras or anything. Kill a few tanks, and then do the proper remax attack on the next wave. And that's massive. This is something which Rainer did so well versus Oliveira at Dallas in that Oceanborn game that started their series. Even though he ended up losing that game, I think Rainer showed a masterclass in utilizing Zerglings to punish a siege tank heavy player. Only 4 tanks up right now, though. Not a lot of defensive firepower here for Clem. Siege tanks trying to hold on. Blinding Clouds going down. Ghosts, Marauders, and Marines pulling back in an ever-expanding arc. But as the Banelings chase them off, the Ultras are on the Planetary. Random Cyclone in the mix. It must have been an accidental misclick. That one shows just how panicky Clem is as he's getting overrun. Banelings! Just too much stuff. There's too much stuff. And Rogue not only shut down the Reaper aggression trivially, like he just shut it down so easily, but he also got that double drop in the bottom. Clem got over aggressive, Rogue shut it down. All right. Game 2 now. Clem in the top left side of Amphion. Now, this map's actually had some pretty good results for Zergs recently, especially Dark, I think has looked really good on Amphion. That being said, I still feel like it's not hard for things to go wrong. Like, especially if the Zerg gets to Mutalisks, which you haven't seen much of, I think they could be very good, but I always feel like just some drops could slide in the left. The right side of the map has some pretty decent ledges for siege tanks as well. Like, as Zerg, if you're defending this 4th base, you've got to take these rocks down to open this ramp up. There's a lot of things to pay attention to. Now, I like this barracks location. I know Maru was building it like up here, and I think it was kind of blocking his Reaper from coming out as fast. But if Clem rallies the Reaper there and then shift clicks it, the Reaper should get across this map very quickly. And this is a hatch gas pool all Rogue. Ooh, interesting. Now, I have seen players do this where they just don't rally drones to the natural. I feel like if you rally the Reaper straight in, go straight to the main, you can force like 3 Spore Crawler tricks here. Because remember, that Reaper gets across this map so early. But I've seen Clem and other Terran players obsess over denying the 3rd base instead and kind of force the Zerg to take the minerals. I just feel like if the Zerg's not gone pool first, your Reaper should prioritize getting in there. Now, Who knows? Maybe the Reaper automatically pops here. I feel like the Reaper's going to pop here and have to move. I'm curious. I always forget, because I always thought like units pop in the bottom left automatically, but then if there's a rally point, they'll try to pop in that direction. Let's see. Where does he pop? Okay, he pops up there. Yeah, so like I said, you want to click the rally point here and then shift click the rally point across the map. Otherwise, you do waste a second. It's not a huge amount, but every second matters. Remember, those Zerglings aren't here yet. The Queens are miles away from popping. And these drones moving to the natural. Rogue being a little greedy. Like I said, he's going to have to do a few extractor tricks at the very least, if not spore tricks. Yeah. Oh, Clem gets a drone. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is the joys of playing Amphion versus Clem. The joy. Oh, what the hell, Clem? He got so horny chasing the weak Zergling that he runs into a choke point, gets surrounded. That was so cocky. He absolutely should have been jumping up the ledge and rotating there, but very sloppy from Clem. Does get punished. Getting a drone is really good, but Rogue is on fire today, and things are going his way. Now there's 4 Zerglings coming across. You have to... Do not swap these. Do not swap these. Just build a single Hellion and 2 Marines, man. Don't be greedy, Clem. Don't be greedy! Build the Marines and the Hellion right now. Okay, now... So you could tell he wanted to swap it. He didn't make that decision willingly. He was kind of forced to. There we go. Now he's building the Marines. He loses a bunch of mining time. 3rd command center gets scouted there as well. Rogue's off to a great start. Where'd the SCV go, guys? Did it die? Oh, he sent the SCV into scout as well, did Clem. Saber has left the game. He's like, this one's already over, man. He lost his Reaper and an SCV. GG. Whoa, 2 base Mutalisk? It's not a Roach all in, is it? If a Roach run goes down right now, it looks like 2 base Muta. I think he'll send a drone out to his 3rd in a few seconds, and then he'll go double gas here as well. I think so. I think so. Okay, we're going to find out really soon. I mean, I've said Mutas are good on this map. He's had a good start, so if there was a time to go Mutas, this is probably it, right? He's also... Oh, Clem's going to go 2-1-1 afterwards. Interesting. He's going to build a starport over here. All right, this is fascinating. Yeah, 3rd base into double gas. That's the way you do it. This is just old school classic 2 base Muta as far as I can tell, guys. It's a build where I know like Scarlet's had moments a few years ago where she was in love with this build, but she played in a tournament. It was just too fragile. You know, there's just too much stuff. When you play a top level Terran, normally they just kill you, and I feel like a 2-1-1's pretty good for punishing a Spire build. Spire goes down now in the natural. That means Mutas will be about 6 minutes. I mean, the double medevac will hit before then. The thing is, if Clem overcommits with a double medevac, the Mutas surprise him, kill the medevacs. That's when Clem's in huge trouble, especially off just 2 barracks production. Alien still scouting around. I mean, does the late 3rd give you a big tell? And are you maybe just too worried about Nidus Roach? Because you're not really thinking about Mutalisks, I would imagine, as Clem. Sees the Baneley Nest, he should know. He should know this is Mutalisks. Even without seeing the Spire, he should absolutely know that this is a Mutalisk play. You see 4 gases, you see a Bane's Nest, you see Zerglings. No sign of Roach play. He's going to go double Engineering Bay. And I would say, yeah, get out here with these medevacs, pick off some Overlords, pick off some units. Try to force some Ling Bane out of Rogue, and then don't lose the medevacs is the #1 rule. Now, this 3rd barracks goes here. Normally, you build this on the reactor, so I think you'll lift that off, build a reactor over here now. Clem. Unless you want to be a madman and build Vikings right now. It's going to go 4 gas. Double upgrades coming in behind the main base. Double drop goes to the right side. 8 Mutas are on the way. I mean, this is the thing. You got to be real careful. If the Lings get us around, the Mutas get on top. 16 Marines with Stim are good. How good are they, though? I think he's just looking to slow down a 4th. Maybe get some damage on the 3rd base. 12 drones being made. Rogue. Uh-oh, he's in trouble. Marines are coming in. It's a very risky move for Clem. He's got to find damage. He sees the Mutalisks. He's going to go for the drones. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he gets 1 Mutalisk. Gets a couple Mutalisks. Nice focus fire in the Marines. Oh, okay. This is a one-way trip, though. Oh, he changed targets. That Mutalisk barely surviving. At the same time, Lings ran in and actually killed 3 SCVs. He only got 3 Mutalisks and a few drones there for 2 medevacs. You don't want to lose those medevacs. Remember what I said? It's about preserving the number. Preserving the count of units is very important. Combat Shields is only now coming in. Mutalisks are going to be going across. 3rd base is a bit vulnerable. And it feels like Rogue, up on 63 drones, has made it past the scary point. I think you want to protract the threat as the Terran player. Keep making the Zerg building Bane, but now he's got complete control. He's making a lot of Mutalisks. There are turrets in behind these bases. One of the Mutas does go down to the Marines. SCV's pulling back, but one of those does fall as well. And oh, he accidentally control-clicked his SCVs. That's a mistake. That hurts, man. And he knows if he moves out there, he might get surrounded. And tanks aren't really helpful. You really want, like, Widow Mines normally against Mutalisks. So he's trying to move out, but these Lings are waiting for him. And he's aware of it. He's like, dude, if I get these Marines surrounded, I'm just dead. He's got to be building 5 Marines at a time, but one of his barracks aren't really producing. He needs all of his mules dropped in his natural, somewhere in a safe base. Armory's on the way. He's got extra barracks coming up to 5 barracks. Another Marine gets picked off. Rogue's being really tricksy with how he's using those Mutalisks. 4th base now on the way for Rogue. Rogue starting his carapace. Always behind in upgrades when you play Mutiling Bane. There we go. 1-1 starts. 2-2 hasn't started yet for Clem. Clem's not that far ahead. He's ahead a lot on the upgrades, but his 3rd base has just started mining. Now, if Rogue can get his 4th up, take a 5th base as well, as, you know, not to mention 13 Mutalisks, now 17. He's at the point where he could start killing missile turrets if he chooses. There we go. Oh my god, enough to 2-shot a turret is pretty damn effective. Reactors are juicy pickoffs. That's going to be removing the double medevac production by taking that reactor out. A few Banelings over on the right side getting ready to roll in. Mutalisks dancing around, trying to find a way to get damage done with their mobility. So far, they've been very effective at that. Turret in the main is getting repaired. Mutalisks, one of them goes down. 2 Mutalisks go down. For only 3 SCVs, it's a great trade, but the Banelings... Oh, the distraction is complete. The turret goes down as well. 17 workers falling, and Clem's like, I gotta push, I gotta go. He knows he's got to do something right here, right now. 26 Banelings are morphing on the defense. Very few Zerglings there. 11 Marines are being built at a time. It's an 8 racks Marine tank push. Clem does not want to let this game go too much longer. Tanks are covering. The Marine count is so low. He needs more Marines on this front line. 45 Marines on the map, but they're all just coming across from defending the main base to finally arriving at this front side. That creep is so far deep. Banelings coming forward. Good pullback by Clem. Now, I'd love to see Rogue go around and cut off the reinforcement. This is something Rogue's been very poor at. Oh, wait, he's just going to go for it. He's got so many Banelings. So many Banelings. Oh, and the tanks just were not able to target the center of the Banes. Great arc of Marines there. Beautiful micro from Clem to set up an arc like that. But look at the supply, man. Look at the supply. Rogue is just miles ahead. And I know most of that's workers, but an even army supply Zerg. Oh, the Banelings! The Banelings can't quite connect with the Marines. Oh, no! Oh, no. Rogue's 1-1 has finished, though. Equal upgrades, but Clem gunning down every single Baneling before they can connect. That's a huge problem. Oh, me, oh, my. Clem focus firing those Banes. Rogue not being safe enough. He just didn't make those Banelings far enough back, and now he's in dire straits. He's going to lose his 4th base. 3 base against a 3 base Terran is okay because he's still up 15 workers, but he's got to clear this army. Banelings spreading pretty well. The tank was on siege. The Marines focus are firing well. The medevacs are low, though. Those Marines on the right side are fighting an extractor right now. They aren't really helping. The Marines on the right side were a little bit slow to come in and bring their force to bear, and those medevacs took so much damage to the Mutalisks. What a turn in that fight that was for Clem. For Rogue. The Marines just not fighting. On that right side, they're shooting lava. They were shooting an extractor. They were not helping in the fight. And that really cost him, because I think Clem kind of had that at a turning point where it looked like Rogue, if he lost that fight, I think Rogue might have been screwed due to the nature of mules and the fact that Clem could have rebuilt, not to mention 2-2 versus 1-1 upgrades. But here we go. The Mutiling doing very well. +2 flyer attack on the Mutalists as well, by the way. Something I didn't point out until now. And it looks like getting on top of the rally is huge. 7 more drones build. There's a new 4th base. And that's going to keep up a massive worker advantage. While Clem, +3 weapon starts. He starts to rebuild his own workers, trying to resaturate that main base. He's mostly pulled off gas right now. So they got single workers on most of these. And double drop comes in. Mutalisk's going to try and fight it. Oh, does lose 2 Mutalisks. Very good pick off there for Clem. Going to kill that Overlord as well. The Overlord's been giving a lot of vision to Rogue. Finally removing that is very nice. Rogue has his little tendrils going across the map. It's not like it's dominant I built 10 queen creep spread, because he just didn't. This was a sort of play where he only ever built 5 queens this game. He's only got 3 of them left now. They're mostly injecting. But he's done a good job with a minimal amount of creep tumors due to the map control. Still building siege tanks is Clem. He's playing this kind of momentum aggression-based style. Mines and Thors are usually the counter to Mutiling Bane, but we haven't seen Terran using mines at all since the last patch. The pro players, they'll mix them in late game. They're very rarely, if ever, opening mines, and Mutalisks are so rare that I think they might be out of practice in regards to that stage of the game. No 4th command center building, and that's going to mean the creep spread is a huge problem, because look, he sees this base now, so Clem's like, okay, you have a 4th base. I have to deal with this somehow. Oh, he's left Marines on the left side. That's a mistake. He's just F2'd. He's going for it. All right, he's going to take a 4th behind it, but this is, for all intents and purposes, in a big committed attack that must get the job done. 61 Marines, 3 tanks, 17 Mutalisks, 19 Zerglings, 11 Banelings, making up to 80 drones. Has Rogue been too greedy? I think the answer very well may be yes. He needs a Ling counterattack to help. If he brings his Lings across and cuts off the reinforce of the Lings and the Mutas, then he can give up ground and force the Marines deep on creep into Banelings. That's where the Banelings do very well. Slight supply block here for Rogue. He is building those Overlords, though, and he finds himself 4 or 5 Marines. Well done. Good mobility for Rogue. Gets some damage. Forcing the next group of Marines to group up. They're going to stim. Stim, and win. That's what he's aiming for. Mutalisks being a nuisance. Nice pre-spread for Clem so far. Taking his time. Second factory is on the way. Still doesn't have any tech labs on the barracks. If he gets a few tech labs and starts mixing in some marauders, those are really good for soaking banelings as well. If you guys are worried about the dangers of explosions, then soaking definitely is a good solution. Salt Lake City was onto something. Zergling's hiding in this top right side. Careful. Uh-oh, Ling Runbai's going to come in. Rolls some mutas in on that left side at the same time. Gets 3 Marines. Doesn't lose any Mutalisks. Very nice counterplay for Rogue. Just being annoying. Keeping Clem back. He's still on 80 workers this whole time, so he's got a giant army now. Mutalisks go to the right side. They're going to find a few more Marines. 1 Mutalisk does go down. Remember, he's got plus 1 flyer armor to go with his +2 attack now. A few Banelings rolling in there would be great, especially when Clem's distracted. Feel like those Marines are a little too far forward. Even if the rest of the pack is pretty safe, Clem's going to pre-spread those a little bit. Here we go. He's going for it. He's going for it. Massive Ling Bane army. So many Banelings. Ragnarok style, a.k.a. Shin style now. Pull back. Rogue. Don't go off creep. Okay, that's Rogue's big problem is he goes off creep sometimes too far. Once you clear the tanks, you want to pull way back, make a billion Banelings, and then fight. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's making the adjustment. The mistake that cost him his 4th base earlier, or maybe not his 4th, but almost cost him more than that even, ends up being okay now. Because he does rally back. 3-3 against 2-2. Hive has started. +2 flyer armors on the way. 4th command center is up for Clem. He's building a sensor tower and a couple turrets. I mean, he's going to be able to max out. He's got a Thor in the mix. Now, that's interesting. The Widow Mines are really what I'd love to see, though. I feel like that's the big thing he's missing right now. There we go. Widow Mines are finally starting, guys. You can see 2 Widow Mines in that production tab. Turrets. Oh, God, you got a mass repair. Okay, nice mass repair. We'll be able to save that mineral line from taking any more damage. A couple Mutalisks do go down as the Marines stim up to help defend. And siege tanks are on siege right now. Marines do find a queen in the open. Remember, there's so few queens in this game. Only building back up to 5 queens is a Rogue right now. Trying to take this base. I can't believe he's got this hatchery, by the way. That looks just so exposed on that left side. Mutas coming up north. I mean, this is getting kind of scary for Rogue, though. I feel like Rogue needs to be counterattacking with more of his army. And this is the thing. I feel like Rogue's waiting for Clem to make a mistake, whereas we could be forcing one. Here we go. He's going to go for a big attack again. Oh, off creep, though. Widow Mine's looking scary. The Widow Mines just did not fire, though. Cleans up the front 2 tanks and pulls back. I mean, that's an okay trade. I really feel the counterattacks are where it's at, though. I mean, you don't need to defend this base as Rogue, but you need to not lose this next fight. And the last few fights, he's now down 6,000 resources in the units lost. He might be able to hold doing the front-on fighting style, but this reminds me of Dark vs. Maru from Dallas on Crimson Court, the game where he just kept fighting front-on with Mutiling Bane, and I was like, man, I don't know. It doesn't seem like the best way to play against these Terrans these days with Mutiling Bane. It's like, use your mobility and counterattack. I mean, yes, he's leaving some Marines and mines at home. I'm not saying it's a free win, but I really feel like there was more success coming for Rogue when he was counterattacking. That being said, Ultra Cavern's on the way. +3 Carapace. All these different things. Oh, Clem goes deep. Clem goes deep. Clem goes deep. Mutiling Bane rolls forward. Mutiling Bane rolls forward. A lot of the Marine Mine was not on the front. I love that pullback there for Rogue. Because he's cleared the tanks, he doesn't get punished on the disengage so much anymore. It's a shorter range Terran army. There's almost no Marauders in the mix. Only a single one, a single tank. The Ling Bane rolling forward in a spread. Clem wants to force the issue. I think he's got the numbers to overwhelm Rogue here. He's up 30 army supply. It's all about the Baneling hits. Thor does go down. Oh, no, he saves the Thor. Nice Thor save. And he gets a massive splash in the middle of the Mutalisk. But there's more Banelings where that came from. More Banelings where that came from. Dude, Rogue gets massive Baneling hits there. That was a legendary set of Banelings. The Mutas were kind of tanking and distracting there. And the Banelings managed to connect in like 3 different places. Does he lose his 5th base? Yes. But that was still a good fight for Rogue after things have been looking nasty. And you know what, guys? He's got Ultras. Chitinous plating and +3 Carapace against a guy who's on mostly Marine Mine. Clem is not ready for this tech transition. If the +3 Carapace Chitinous Ultras come out, they will wreck this army. Widow Mines are starting to fire. These Marines on that left side have been getting F2 this whole time. That is hilarious, by the way. They're going to clear up a couple of creep tumors here on that. As Clem, he doesn't even get those ones. Oh, well. Taking his main base down here. He's going to float out as his own 5th to match the 5 bases of Rogue. Income is up for Rogue right now, as there's only really one fresh mining base for Clem and a couple mineral patches elsewhere. He's going to lift a few Marines to that left side. 8 Marines is not enough. 8 Marines is not enough. Rogue's just going to fight it. Does take out the medevac. More Marines do come over that right side. And this is though where Clem is kind of split. He needs to break these rocks and clear up this creep in the middle and break this rock as well. Because right now, this army down here is just isolated. The Ultras are going to show themselves. The Banelings not blowing up on the tank, going past to try to land on the Marines. Good focus fire by Clem. Picks up, saves those units, pulls to the right side. Mutalisks looks like have taken a bit of a beating, but they are going to chase these Marines and medevacs down. Oh, and he gets it. A Marauder and 4 Marines inside the medevac. Another medevac. Oh, does go down? Yes, it does. Looked like he was going to pull back for a second there. Widowmine just going to go burrow in the worker line. No, just going to wander. Only one Marauder being built. There is no concussive shells in this game. It's been such a frantic kind of low economy game. Feels like they're coming in a little bit late. And hats off to Rogue for taking such good fights. I really thought he was finding himself in that position where he was just going to get bowled over by like the modern Terran, but the Baneling connections were actually great. And Rogue did a really good job of like splitting Banelings up, not blowing up on tanks, rolling them past individual targets. Oh my gosh, this is a crazy attack for Rogue. I mean, I get like he doesn't have the answer to Ultras, but that just was insane. 3 Ultras for nothing. Not a good trade there for Rogue. Moments of brilliance mixed in with a few blunders here and there. Oh, that's going to be good though. Look at this, not letting these mines fire. Just goes in with the Mutalisk Overseer squad. Lings are going to run in on this base. The Marines and the Marauders are there, though. Good defense by Clem, but Clem is just hanging on by a thread economically. 56 workers, 4 bases, but, you know, one of these is his main that's lifted down. His income is not too bad, but if Rogue can just kind of stabilize now with, yep, this base is back up mining. Rogue can take the right side and the left side base same time. That's going to make things very difficult. Massling Ultra Bane on the left. Here we go. Widow Mines are a little bit far back, guys. The Marauders did get isolated out front. Baneling's starting to sneak through. Oh, decent Widow Mines landing. Nothing that's going to be game-changing just yet. The Banelings do go down. The Marauders up front. The Marines doing pretty well. Great fight for Clem. Really good hold. Attacking up a ramp like that, not very inspired. And this is what I'm saying about Rogue. I feel like there's moments of absolute brilliance mixed in with, like, I'm just going to attack up a ramp. And it's like, dude, this is actually the weak base on the right side. But it felt like he just kind of assumed Clem was more focused on the right than the left. Threw his army up a choke point, and that cost him huge. He just lost all of his momentum. Clem's now up 20 army supply, 30 army supply even. Mutalisks fine to pick off, though. Every time when it looks like things are going really bad for Rogue, he gets a tank and a few Marines. 5 Marines in a tank. Very well done. He doesn't have +3 melee nor adrenal glands. Keep that in mind. But he does have 2-2 on the Mutalisks. Still 14 of those bad boys alive, and oh, we do not want to be fighting Ling Ultra Bane on creep. Clem does save a few of the Marauders, thankfully. Very important that he was able to do that. But now that means his left side's uncovered. Oh, Clem gets a hatchery kill down there. But that's not nearly as important as this worker line. Banelings, Lings in the worker line. He can't give that base up. But his Marines are so damaged. His Marines and Marauders are very damaged. The Ultras are going to get in there. Big hugs from the Ultras, taking out a bunch of the Marines. 18 SCVs do fall as well. Ling's going to be getting out of here. Wow, good trade for Rogue, killing so much economy. Yes, he lost a lot of ultras, but he's still active. Ooh, Widowmine trap. Good dodge. Good pullback, I should say, there by Rogue. Takes the right side. I think taking the right and the left simultaneously is important. So even though he lost the hatchery on the left, by expanding to both sides, if Clem over-focuses on one side, you've always got the other that's still open. Unfortunately for Rogue, Clem is now floating new command center out to the 5th base. This game is neck and neck. It is such an incredibly close TVZ. That's an older school one. Mutiling Bane always creates such fun games. I love it. That's why I've been sad we haven't seen more Amphion this season, because I really feel like it's Mutiling Bane heaven. It's going to force these sorts of games. Wow, that Bio's trading really well. He's got to focus the Banes, though. And, oh, the Muta's going to try and kill him as he picks up. He's got to pull to the left side. He can unload there. He can unload. But the Marines are so damaged, it might not matter. The Mutas just might win the fight. 3-3 Marines. Not enough to take him down, man. Ling's running on that left side once again. SCV's pulling back to the choke point. On the right side, looks like that gold base got taken out by Clem. Clem's diving in the right side. He kills the gold. He's also going to kill this one. This game is devolving to chaos. It is pure chaos at this point. Now, Clem needs to get out. Oh, this is a problem. If he loses these guys as well, that's when he's in a huge problem. There's no Widow Mines. There's no Widow Mines here. Oh, my man Clem's in trouble right now. He's in huge trouble. He needs to save these units. He's got so many Widow Mines on the left side of the map right now that aren't here. And this is the problem with having this left base. Look, he's got like 12 Widow Mines with no Marines. And then on the right, he's got all Marines and Marauders with no Widow Mines. That's a big problem. He needs to hold the center base. This is the most important area for him to defend. He's got to clear this creep. This creep we've been talking about on this left middle side is giving too much vision and mobility to Rogue. He needs to be clearing those rocks, this creep. I know breaking those rocks seems scary because you think it defends your base, but it's more important for Clem to get forward and kind of control this area and try to deny the center control, because center control is what's giving him all of his problems right now. That Widow Mine, I think, can fire there. Yep. Marine Marauder Mine on the left side running forward. Widow Mine. Oh, both Zerglings dragged Widow Mines into the drone line. Bad micro from Rogue there. Does lose 9 workers. Does have +3 melee coming in. Still no Adrenal Glands. It's mostly about the Ultras and the Banes in this game. Feel like a few Infestors could be game changers. A few Infestors could be huge, but Rogue's been so low on gas this whole time. Normally we see people with an excess of gas in the late game. He doesn't have that. Gonna load a drop, go down to that bottom right side apparently. This base especially is important because it's fresh, as is this one on the left. Income right now ahead for Clem. And actually Clem just needs to chill. Clem doesn't need to keep being aggressive here unless he's worried about the late game options. He's building ghosts though, so I think he's all right. 37 workers is low economy to building ghosts. Normally I'm thinking minimum 60 workers to be building ghosts, often 75 and 8 orbitals, but in this case we're on 5 orbitals and 37 workers, and it just might be the right play considering how low economy this game is. Gonna stim in the right side. The creep's giving good vision. I really feel like Rogue has been on budget creep spread this entire game, in terms of he's only had a few queens, and yet he's actually made great use of that budget creep spread. He's really got good value out of it, and that's the power of the Mutalisks punishing Clem, sending that in to sacrifice for Clem. Does pull Rogue out of position. He's going to lose this drop. Won't really be able to kill anything in the meantime. Clem's going to push in, but that's a sandwich. It's a sandwich. Ultra Ling on the right, Ling Bane on the left. He does move forward with just a small squad, which is it's a good choice for him to not overcommit. Oh, watch out for the Widow Mine, bro. Nice on Burrow on that front Widow Mine. Almost targeted Changelings with Widow Mines. But good correction on the micro. Clem, you got to be careful not to have all your Widow Mines up front. All of his Widow Mines are like going to potentially fire on their own. Yeah, 3 Widow Mines on just a few Zerglings. Not a great shot. Mutas on the right side are over there. The Medivacs are still alive here. Mutalisks could hunt those down. You got to be careful to not go too far forward with too much. Remember that sandwich we were talking about? Rogue is ready for it. He wants some juicy Terran filling on this sandwich. Oh, okay, Widow Mines. Widow Mine Marauder does pretty well here. And that Widow Mine did a lot of damage to his Medivacs. Ling run by could be big though. Uh-oh, raise the wall. Raise the wall. Good door raise there. Marine Marauder pulls back. Marauder Thor on the front, doing okay with the mass Medivac support against the Lings. But here comes the Ling Bane run by. Nice first Widow Mines. But the Banelings come in from behind. The Widow Mines have all already fired. Beautiful spreadies on the Lings. There's only one more Widow Mine in reserve right now. Marauders and Thors will do okay. Watch out for the Widow Mine Banelings. Watch out for the Widow Mines. Oh, the Marines, though, coming forward. Finally, the Marauders and the Thors going down in the front line. A lot of Medivacs going down. And I think that was a good enough fight for Clem. I mean, it looked okay for Rogue at first, but then you just realize, like, Banelings just aren't efficient against anything except the Marines, really. And you don't have an economy to keep contesting. And you got to look at this and say to yourself, damn, what an epic series this has been. But looks like Clem is going to be able to tie things up 1-1. I say that. He's killing a base. He's also losing a base. He loses the middle base as well. He loses both bases. Rogue's going to get down and dirty here. He's going to... I mean, that's the right way to do it. When desperate with middling, base trade. And I feel like he should have been doing more of this earlier. Like, I wish Rogue was almost, you know, allergic to frontally fighting in this game, because I think that's the strength of Mutiling Bane, especially against a guy like Clem. Clem is so much better at attacking than defending. Gets a fresh mule, gets a bunch of damage. Supply's actually even. Where's the income coming in right now? Rogue, if he gets this base mining, that's big. He's going to transfer workers. He's got a full base mining. He's hidden the drones there. He's going to lose this center base. I mean, Clem's mining kind of sucks right now. He drops a bunch of mules, and it's obviously instantly back ahead of the Zerg. The problem right now is this command center is really dumb for Clem. You can't be securing the left, the middle, and the far right at the same time. Clem's basically trying to just, like, out multi-prong the Zerg player. And that can work if you're infinitely better than your opponent. This is Rogue we're talking about. This guy's a world champion, you know, obviously years ago, but still, it's, you know, a GSL champion right before he went to the military, world champion before that. It's definitely something where giving this attack angle to Zerg and the far left, both orbitals, you kind of have to be aggressive. That's why Clem has to move forward here. I think this is the right call. He's got quite a few ghosts. Ghosts are not great versus Mutiling Bane. They're okay, but they are very expensive. All right. 2 libs are being built. Bio's moving down this left side. Got a little bio counterattack, looking for the hatcheries. He's not going to find it, and that means his base is open. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, he could run into the far left as well. These bases are wide open right now. Clem leaving himself undefended. He has to be aggressive. His whole army's in the top right corner. You can't be in... Like I said, that top right made no sense, guys. We've seen Maru lose so many games the same way. When Terrans get excited and their adrenaline starts pumping, sometimes they get in this mode of, like, I'm going to out expand to every corner. The difference is you're not Zerg. You can't just cancel a hatch and run drones away. You will lose every SCV. It's not possible to defend. He has to get aggressive and focus on this top right side. That is a lot of Mastling Bane, though. The medevacs nowhere near the bio. Oh my god, where are the medevacs? Where are the medevacs? They're not with the bio right now. Oh, damn, Clem is getting overrun. He's down. He's up 30 army supply and getting overrun. That is crazy. That is crazy right now. He's up 30 army supply, now up 15 army supply, but he's getting overrun. He's just not all in the right position. He's not all gathered together, and Rogue is using his mobility in a masterclass to pick Clem apart, and Clem is just refusing to give ground. He's saying, no, I can hold this, and I can hold the far left. Rogue can send a few Zergans in the middle, a few Zergans on the left, while keeping the army pinned on the right, and he's going to be able to just kill Clem's economy. Clem trying to defend opposite corners. This is a classic. This is a rule of Zerg versus Terran, guys. If you take a corner base, you do not defend it. You hope the Zerg doesn't notice. You drop some mules there, and you just lift it the moment it gets in trouble. And you go, I lost mules, but at least I didn't lose SCVs. You can't be trying to defend the whole corner while also having get the heart of your economy on the other corner. This is a tactical mistake. I'm gonna be really harsh. It just shows the pressure Rogue brought to him, though. Rogue has just been so hard to stamp out. Rogue has been attacking every side repeatedly, popping back up like weeds whenever he gets kind of ripped out of the ground. And now he dives on top. Libs against Mutalisk is kind of a funny trade because the Mutas are a little clump, so they don't do amazingly versus the Libs, but there's just not that many Libs. And with Queens coming forward as well to help out, the Libs will go down. The Libs only had +2 ship weapons against 2-2, whereas, you know, the Mutas are up 2 upgrades there, which is part of why they win that so hard. And it looks like now Rogue is not only back in it, but he seems to be winning it because he's got the gold base established. Yeah, it's only 2 gold minerals. He's still got 4 mineral patches there. He's got 25 minerals there, 20... Okay, so basically, he's got 2 bases mining, 1.5. Terran, on the other hand, is going to float back to these left sides, which you've still got 2 very spread bases, the middle and the far left, that don't really cover each other. Great Widow Mine. To 20 kills is that Widow Mine. He's going to go for an 8 Marine drop on the right. Nice little counter attack. Changelings do see it, though. He drops and guns down the Changelings. Wow, I can't believe Rogue brought this back. You can tell maybe a limited bit of experience on this map for Clem, where he kind of went on autopilot and just thought, let's just attack everywhere, expand everywhere. But Rogue did a very good job of like attacking all the bases, then pulling back, collecting himself, and smashing a section of Clem's army before splitting back up to counterattack all of those bases. Late game Zerg versus Terran, it's always about finding the openings. Where has Terran left an opening? Or how can you force there to be an opening? The fact that Clem is still trying to flip this command center up here is insane. He absolutely should be taking the left side, or he should be moving these command centers over to the right and like forcing Rogue off the gold. Like this just does not make sense for Clem. It's unfortunate. It's just such an APM intensive game. ZvT, often you don't have time to stop and think because you're just clicking so fast, you're just doing things. And I think that's the case here where Clem's just like, I need more minerals. He's not thinking about where or how he gets them because the hunger for this base is actually being his undoing. If he didn't commit to that base, I can almost guarantee you that Clem wins this game. He was in a winning position. But the moment you spread yourself so far, so thin, man, that Ling Bane Mutalisk just gathers up, isolates 1/3 of your army at a time, and suddenly Mutaling Bane looks really good against an army that does counter it. Widowmine, Marine, Marauder, very good versus Mutaling Bane. Ghosts, Libs, yeah, they're okay. They're not really counters to this, though. They're just bonus annoying units to deal with. Just the Marine Marauder Mine is all you really need. If you can mix a Thor or two in, that's very effective. Game settles down here, 32 minutes in. Come. Right now it's ahead for Clem, which you might think seems promising, but remember, this base could be denied. Rogue's being maybe a little too patient. He's letting Clem temporarily mine more minerals than him. I really feel like Rogue should be denying the right side. Okay, get to Widow Mine. Those libs are actually unprotected right now. There's nothing that shoots up there. There's like one Marine. The Lingbane on the right side, still letting this base mine. Clem is just getting away with murder. He should not be rallying SCVs here. Remember what I said, guys. If you're going to do this, you just drop mules. You just lift the command center and run away the moment there's a sign of trouble. The burrow on burrow micro from Clem. And Clem's going to move to the left. Clem has decided to move to the left. He's going to be reactive. He's going to try and just like defend everywhere and see what can happen. Mutalisk Corruptor comes in. It's a single Corruptor. He's the sergeant. Tells them what to do. Couple of those Widow Mines get snipes. Overseer's taking some damage, but nothing too cray-cray. The creep respread's been really good. In these sort of games, respreading creep is actually massive because there's not a lot of scans available. Remember, every scan is a mule. It's 225 minerals that he could mine on his very diminished economy. Losing an Overseer is worth it there. Gets himself 3 Liberators, a Widow Mine. Does lose a Mutalisk or 2 to snipes, but not bad at all for Rogue. Left side base has 5 Widow Mines. A couple of Zerglings sprinkled into that could clean that up on their own. He catches Bio on the right side. Lings dart in, get themselves a Marine and a Marauder. Careful, spready, 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 spready. Don't clump. Oh my god, don't clump, don't clump. Widow Mine's getting a few decent shots. And the command center picks up. That's a good trade for Clem. Units lost have 14,000 resources in favor of Clem. Clem's army supply down 17 supply, and that's against Massling Bane, which is a pretty damn supply efficient army. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. Rogue set off the front layer of Widow Mines. He wants to go for it. That Widow Mine in the top right. Oh, good spready. Good spready. Massling Bane coming in from all sides. The Muters flying on top. The Mutalists weren't even on an A move. They just clicked in there. And now they're targeting those Widow Mines. There is an Overseer, 2 Overseers coming in. Cloak is not going to get those ghosts out of there. Cloak will not get those ghosts out of there. And that is an overwhelming victory and a beautiful comeback for Rogue. All right, going into the next game. Clem in the top left, a Rogue in the bottom right, up 2-0. Wow. Rogue, man, when he lost that bottom left base, wow, a bit of lag there. That was weird. When he lost that bottom left base, the one just kind of above his main, and then just instantly blitzed across with Ling Muta counterattacks, it felt like that just kind of threw Clem, you know, kind of ripped his mentality apart or something. It's like, he's like, I'm killing you, and I want to fight. I kill 2 bases, but somehow I'm losing my economy at the same time. I don't know. Clem got a bit excited there and definitely overexpanded to opposite corners of the map. It is what it is, though. Hey, Pig, question about ZvT. Can you repost that? I think it was about why don't Overseers get used more? Zerg has an overseer to scout. Is it a lack of energy or not worth the APM? Oh no, overseer contaminate's great. You should definitely use contaminate. It's literally just laziness. I mean, don't get me wrong, changelings are really nice as well. Changelings are fantastic scouts. So you do want to use your changelings for scouts, but you can, if you can see everything with the overseer and zerglings and stuff already, and you don't need to use changeling scouts, it is nice to contaminate. And contaminate's on upgrades, factories, starports are usually all very high value. Robos against Protoss. I would say upgrades is the most straight up, just like obvious, consistent one. And it's definitely something people could use more of. You know, a few years ago, I think it was 2021, when Raynor was living with Roddy for a little bit, and Roddy kept telling him, hey man, no one uses Contaminate. Like, Zergs are really stupid. You guys should use Contaminate. And he used it a bunch of times to stop people building Tempests and Disruptors. This was back in the Void Ray meta. And like, he would be doing a big Roach Queen all-in, and it would get held by Tempests and Disruptors, or Void Rays and Disruptors, and he'd come in with 3 Overseers and just not let the Disruptor get out. And you'd be like, oh my god, like, it was really cool. So I think Overseers are really good and could be used, but they do take a very long time. They need to get 75 more energy. So it's like, you make the Overseer, and it's like 2.5, is it 2 minutes later? I don't know how long it takes to get 75 energy. I'm going to say 2 minutes. Oh, sound was disabled, my bad. And that's going to be big now. This is a gasless opening for Rogue. This is Dark's greedy gasless build. Let's see if Clem can punish this, as he's done a 1-Rex expand. Which means usually the best way to punish this is with Hellions. Yeah, he doesn't know exactly when that Queen's going to pop out, so it's a good choice to pull back. Maybe could have got a drone there, but I think it's better to play safe here. Third command center is on the way. Do we try to dive with the first Hellions as Clem? I wouldn't mind it. I think if you dive with the first Hellions, it could be really good. Problem, if you only kill like 3 or 4 drones, Rogue's already so greedy, and then his creep spread's going to be kind of amazing. And he's actually building 8 Zerglings. Oh, that's great. So I think he's expecting Clem to dive Hellions, and he's going to have Zerglings ready to block the ramp. And just, even though they're slow Zerglings, they actually are not bad on creep against Hellions if you've also got Queens around. This is really cool. But yeah, to finish the point on the Overseer, it's just two minutes is an eternity in StarCraft, and it's hard to keep track of something for that long. I think that's the main thing. Chat's pointing out, like, yeah, if you make 2 Overseers or 1 Overseer, you contaminate their factory, stop them building siege tanks while doing like a 1-1 Roach all-in. That's actually huge. Absolutely. I think it could be a good idea. Like, it's something which has just been largely ignored in StarCraft, and I think there's a lot of things like this because players only have so much bandwidth. Like, there's only so much you can focus on. Wait, is this a 4 Cyclone opening? Clem? Oh my god, there's no link speed. No link speed is really weak to Cyclones. This is a very clever way to punish. Oh, he's going to force Ling Speed out of Rogue, but it's going to take minutes to kick in. Rogue's also massively supply blocked right now. Big mistake for Rogue. Big mistake for Rogue getting supply blocked like that. He's doing a true dark opening here, sitting on 58. Supply for quite a while. All right, Overlord does not get picked off. These Cyclones just need to keep microing. The Reaper should pull out. He's going to lose it. Oh, he goes in, does get himself a Queen. 4 Cyclones wreck this, but he's only got 30 seconds or so till Ling Speed finishes. He's got 30 seconds to find damage, and he's got to be ready, because this could just be a Ravager Zergling counter rolling. Rogue could just be like, okay, you're forcing me to build Ling Speed. I'm just going to kill you. Go pull back the weak one, Clem. Clem, pull back. Oh my god, he loses it. He loses it. Clem here. Oh, he sees the Roach. He sees the Roach. I mean, he might just think it's a defensive Roach, though. More Lings being built along with these Roaches and Queens. That Queen out in the open, she's going to die. Cyclone's getting good value, man. Very good value. Marines, though, getting F2 to the front. Clem's micro has been a little sloppy. His Cyclones are so damaged, he needs to pull back. He does not have a siege tank right now. He's going to start building a tech lab, and this is an all-in. Of course it's an all-in. Rogue's like, yeah, dude, I had a really greedy start. Yes, you killed 3 Queens and 14 Zerglings. Queens are really important for a macro game. They're not important if I'm just going to go and kill you. And that's, of course, what he's going to go for. Now, how's he seeing this? Oh, bad Overlord placement there by Rogue. He was not in position on the middle of that pillar. Does lose an Overlord, but these units in the open is really bad if they get surrounded. Clem, you need to be in the choke point. Clem! Oh my god, he's in the open. He's in the open. But wait, his Lings go out way too far in front. Awkward timing here by Rogue because... But he has enough to win with just the Zerglings. Super awkward execution there by Rogue. But he seemed to realize right now you're just not ready. You don't have your medevacs. Gets all the Marines killed so easily with the surround, and that's just going to be it. He's just got nothing now. I was like, I'm sorry for the anti-hype casting there. I'm just like, what? I catching him out. I thought he was going to come in with Ravages and Lings from all sides. And Rogue's like, no, I don't need anything but Zerglings. It's like a few Cyclones that are almost dead and a handful of Marines with no combat shields and no medevacs. Yeah, I'm going to go right now before he gets medevacs, because then he could pick up to safety. And it was the exact correct call from Rogue. And I think this might just be game, man. He's canceling his upgrades. Bile's keeping back the Marines. I mean, this is huge. Then again, Clem's still on 40 worker, 3 command center. He hasn't lost any of his Marines yet. He's got to get away from the Biles, though he gets surrounded. Clem, you needed to pull back onto the ramp earlier. The moment you get surrounded, Lings do pretty well against those unupgraded Marines. They only have 35 hit points. Clem taps out, types GG, and Rogue with a vicious 3-0. I do like the Cyclone idea there, guys. I think the Cyclones are a good way to punish this. You don't really want to build Ling speed with that opening of Rogue. But you could just see, this was not the time to be on the map. Stim, the thing is, so in Clem's mind, guys, he has no idea about the Ravager. He's just thinking, you made those units to be defensive. And he's just thinking, I got Medevacs and Stim out in a second. We are super solid, we're super good. And this is actually the brilliant time in a fight. Because look, Medevacs are popping as we speak. Medevacs have literally just popped out. They're just flying over here. If he saves all those Marines, even if he leaves the Cyclones, this is a different game. He even saved 4 Marines. But if he saved all those Marines, like having more Marine firepower would have been massive. Wow. GG, well played, man. Rogue with a 3-0. He kind of threw away an advantage in Amphion in game 2, but then he made an epic comeback after throwing the advantage away. So that was like actually just peak entertainment. Both players getting ahead, then getting behind, then getting back ahead. This one, though, was, oh gosh, you're countering me with Cyclones, and Rogue just instinctively knew what to do. You're going to make me build Ling speed. I'm just going to do a Roach Circling all in. And it was really well done. GG, well played.